I'm recording this again on Tuesday, April 14, 2020. I don't know what the heck just happened, but I mean, I got a notification again, and I'm on airplane mode right now, recording this. I got a notification again, and then my video suddenly got interrupted. But yeah, I had a total of 2 white men at that mostly white non-denominational church tell me that, the stuff that I talk about is divisive. Yes, because European or white pride is divisive because not everyone likes that. There is a massive and worldwide anti-European or anti-white agenda, and even talking about stuff like this, I'm basically putting myself in danger. But I don't care. Oh, you have to avoid me because I said some stuff on Facebook that you took out of context, and then you just use that to assume that I want to physically hurt you or your children. I really don't care about that, honestly. Or the old people at that church are basically dead to me. I only associate with and communicate with young people from that non-denominational church, and that is it, for the most part. And I still call and talk to Ali from Turkey, and he's really cool, and he definitely does not agree with everything that I say or think, but he's a really cool and understanding person. He's not just going to jump to conclusions and act as if he knows everything about me when he knows little or nothing. In fact, I mean, it's really retarded, honestly, and it shows the stupidity of the masses or common people in America. Oh yes, you have to avoid me because I had a total of 4 interactions with this person in a jail in Phoenix, in Arizona, and I have never ever been to Phoenix or Arizona before in my life. I grew up in New York State, and I visited New York City a lot because I had family. I still have family that lives there on my father's side. I never ever lived in New York City, but I lived in New York State, and then I eventually moved to Florida, and that is it. I've only been 2 places in my life: New York State, and then Florida, or Sunshine State. And I mean, I was born in Lynchburg, in Virginia, on Sunday, September 5, 1993, but I don't even remember living in that particular state, and it's just really a result of total ignorance and stupidity with these white people. Most of them are old, and they're brainwashed by these satanic and Jewish-controlled mainstream media at that time. But just like with this, jumping to conclusions and acting as if they know all the facts when they don't, it's the same exact thing that they're doing with being like, communists and leftists and, race traitors, and it's funny and sad. But yeah, a lot of them feel like they have a moral duty or like a moral obligation to be leftists and race traitors, but that really is not going to fly with me. I'm sorry to disappoint you, white people. You're going to really piss me off if you do that, actually. And a lot of them have made themselves my arch enemies because they have decided to embrace modern liberalism and self-flagellation and stupidity and Judaism and other stuff. And yeah, I don't think like most people. I definitely don't think like most people. And a person will expect me to have a personality that is, like the brainless and non-thinking masses, or like, a lot of black people that are brainwashed by this satanic and Jewish dominated mainstream media. But I don't. I get my information from elsewhere. I don't even watch TV despite having DirecTV at my house in New Tampa. I barely watch anything on there, if I watch anything at all. And basically all that I watch is on YouTube, on either my smartphone or this smart TV downstairs in that 2-story house in New Tampa, and that is it. And I play music on Amazon Alexa downstairs in the kitchen, or in a bathroom upstairs, and that's basically all that I do. I don't consume mainstream lies and propaganda. I don't just go along with conformity or this herd mentality. And I recently discovered noticed that men are more likely to go against whatever is the dominant culture in a depraved and evil society. And the women just tend to go along with whatever is the herd mentality or pack mentality that is based more on emotion and feelings than logic and rationality. But I am all logic and rationality. And I really have noticed that men have different natures and personalities than women, and they tend to be more rambunctious and rebellious against whatever is the dominant culture or pack mentality at that time, and women just tend to go along with it like brainless and non-thinking sheep. But yes, this is a society that is almost totally full of sheep that they just believe whatever they hear from the mainstream media, and they don't question anything. But yeah, I do, because I follow the alternative rights, or alt-rights, on social media, and on YouTube the most right now. But also I'm really into atheism, and that is another thing that goes against conformity or this pack mentality, because as I said before, most people in history have believed in some kind of deity or God, and America is a mostly or overwhelmingly Christian nation, and atheists are a small percentage of the population in America and worldwide. You know, even if you yourself are not an atheist, just watch those videos that Atheist Survival Guide published to YouTube, and he talks about statistics on religious and non-religious people in America and worldwide, and it's basically like the same thing. You know, 80% of America identifies itself as religious, an overwhelming majority. At 70% are Christians, and then 10% do not identify with any organized religion, and then 10% are atheist, and that is about 30 million people in America, and then, you know, worldwide, I think it's about, you know, the same statistics, or whatever, and that is, you know, about, just like in America, about 80% of people identify as religious. You know, worldwide, I think it's also 80% of people that identify as religious. And, you know, atheists are the real minorities in America and worldwide, and they are the ones that are really oppressed. But I don't like to use that word because a lot of people on the political left like to use that word. Like my youngest sister, and I have two younger sisters, seems to like a lot of stuff that is left wing, and she keeps using this word, oppressed. You know, and how there are people that are oppressed or whatever. And really just, you know, people repeating, mindlessly just repeating this term that is minorities is really stupid. And it shows how, you know, ignorant and stupid they are. Because it is the so-called minorities or non-white people that tend to have the most children, and they are in fact going to be a dominant demographic in America and in the West, and basically America and other white countries. But they just keep mindlessly saying that they are the minorities, when really that is not an accurate term to use. I remember hearing a 41-year-old Ayla Stewart and 68-year-old Jared Taylor talking about how it's likely that in 300 or 200 years that white people are going to go extinct, and the Jews are promoting immigration into white countries, and they're pushing miscegenation or race mixing in the mainstream media, and the vast majority of people are not going to think like me and, you know, like want to donate their reproductive cells or sperm and then have white and or Asian children. But yeah, I just want whatever is best for humanity, and I don't want to live a selfish life. So that's why I think, you know, it's best to have children that are not going to look like or resemble me or my biological parents. Because your genetics or your race is really all that you have. People want to talk about the environment this and the environment that, but you know, basically humanity or mankind, they are like animals, and, you know, people would not even dream of just, you know, saying that some of the stuff that they say about, you know, humans about animals, like, the environment is what made them this way, but it's likely that it did have an influence over them. But I don't. Even Sam Harris has talked about this, how because of human evolution, which took approximately 6 million years, there basically has to be like racial differences in intelligence. I mean, he doesn't go into details or specifics like Jared Taylor does in this video that American Renaissance published to YouTube on Friday, May 8, 2015. I was 21 at that time, and then Jared Taylor was 63 at that time, or 42 years older than I was. And that is a video that American Renaissance published to YouTube on Friday, May 8, 2015. And, he actually talks about, race and IQ in more details and specifics than Sam Harris does. Sam Harris just basically says that 500 years ago or in the past, intelligence did not really mean a lot because you were just pushing a plow next to your neighbor, but now you can start a hedge fund or software company. And he said in this one video from Pookie Nana, I swear that it used to be on there on YouTube before, from a Bastiat report, and that is all one word, but now I see it from Pookie Nana, and that is two separate words. And in that particular video, he said that people don't want to hear about this or talk about this, but environment probably does count for something, but genes appear to be 50 to 80% of the story. And there's another man talking in that particular video, and he said that what Sam Harris said is science, and that it's because of this PC culture that people want to believe in egalitarianism, or that everyone is equal. That's really like leftist and Marxist stuff. And I think that it's likely that humanity originated from ape-like ancestors, and they evolved the behavioral and physical characteristics that they have today in approximately 6 million years or so. And even Christians, they believe in and they talk about evolution. There are, as Aaron Ross said in this video that he published to YouTube, and he said that most Christians are evolutionists, and most evolutionists are Christians. And just because you talk about human evolution doesn't necessarily mean that you are an atheist or don't believe in God. But I also think that it's likely that I am an atheist. I like Christianity a lot, and but anyways, and there are people that are Christian that they will act as if they are better, or they have moral high ground, or this, moral advantage or superiority, because they don't talk about stuff like this. Oh no, that's evolution. Oh no, I don't believe in that. And, but as I said before, if there is a hell, most Christians are going to it. As I remember watching this video that Andy, or Follow Me to Christ Ministries, published to YouTube. They have published the exact same YouTube video, and there's a young white man in a blue polo, and he has black glasses and brown hair, and he's talking about how basically most Christians are going to hell, and that they intentionally indulge in their favorite sins or transgressions of divine law in Christianity. And just because a person says that they are Christian or religious really does not impress me, because society is messed up, and America is a mostly or overwhelmingly Christian nation, and the vast majority of people worldwide have always believed in some kind of deity or God or religion or whatever, and yeah. So to blame it, I know that there are a lot of stupid Christians that will just blame, stuff that they see as bad, as like felonies or serious crimes. Felonies or serious crimes on people that are atheists, or they don't believe in God, because they think that because they believe in a God or religion like most of humanity worldwide has, that they are better, and that they are special, and they have this moral high ground, or this moral advantage or superiority. But really, if most people in America are Christians, and most people worldwide believe in religion, then it's obvious where all this evil and negativity in history and society is coming from. Atheists are only a small percentage of the population in America, or 10%, and worldwide. And I really don't think that it's a small percentage of the population in America, or 10%, and worldwide, that is causing all these problems, or this evil and negativity that people have experienced. It's really just ignorance and naive to say that. But, as I said before, because, feminism and leftism is a dominant culture in America, and I think worldwide. That manager at that McDonald's in Wesley Chapel, that non-European or non-white person, she addressed me as if I had done something terrible, and then she mentioned that another employee that I'm not going to name, that has blonde hair and blue eyes, and she's white, and I got her phone number on Wednesday, March 18, 2020, and she has not continued to text me, and she has never, ever answered any of my phone calls. And I'm pretty much done with her, because I think that it's obvious that she doesn't have an interest in me at all. So, hey, I think that's all the push that I needed on that day, or Thursday, April 9, 2020. You know, I am attacked as if I'm a dangerous and predatory person because I have said that I liked this particular woman that has blonde hair and blue eyes, and she's white. And I mean, I think that I have also been attacked because I have talked about what type of women that I like, and I'm seen as like this dirty and perverted person, when really I don't think that it's really I think that it's really a good or positive thing if people have self-awareness or self-examination, and that, you know, people know a lot about themselves. It's like that saying that I think the Greeks said, or know thyself, and that is even in the Matrix from 1999, and I was five when that was released. And you know, I am really not against self-awareness or self-examination, and I don't think that it's a negative thing at all. And it's just that in this satanic and messed up society, oh yeah, if you talk about sexual stuff, you're a bad person. But most people in this society will not denounce or speak against stuff that is depravity or sexual immorality, because they don't have a problem with it at all or whatsoever. Like, I hate basically everything that is a sin or a transgression of divine law in Christianity. I mean, I don't think that engaging in premarital intercourse or promiscuity are good things. And I also don't think that masturbation and pornography are good things. But if I just talk about that, I'm a terrible, terrible, terrible person. But no one talks about the fact that, as I remember listening to in this video that Fight the New Drug published to YouTube, and everyone should subscribe to that YouTube channel. I mean, there was one particular video where this young white man that has brown hair, he was talking about how the average age of exposure to pornography is 11 years old, and the largest group of internet porn users are from age 12 to age 17, but nobody ever denounces or speaks against stuff like that. But I'm a bad person because I brought up sexual stuff, and it's amazing. It's like we're living in a moral and quasi Victorian age or era. You know, I think that if a person can talk about sexual stuff in a way that is intelligent and pleasant, and Christians are supposed to talk about stuff like this, but a lot of them are cowards, and they don't want to say anything that is not politically correct or socially acceptable. So they don't speak against stuff like homosexuality or pornography. They just want to basically have feel good sermons every Sunday and say stuff that is boring and non-controversial and that everyone agrees with and likes, and that is it. That is church in America nowadays, or most churches that are from mainstream Christianity, that are really more like cattle ranches than anything else. As I said before, a lot of these people are just brainwashed and stupid, and they go along with this herd mentality and modern liberalism. Yeah, there are some that are going to be really conservative or right wing, but a lot of these so-called Christians really are not like that. Like a lot of young white women and some old white people, they feel like they have a moral duty or an obligation to be leftists and race traitors, as I said before. And I really don't feel like that at all. I think that because I am not European or white. I'm basically like Blackheart from Ghost Rider, because it's like I don't have a soul in the same way that Blackheart from Ghost Rider doesn't have a soul. And really, I don't feel affected by anti-European and anti-white lies and propaganda. I don't have any white guilt whatsoever, and that is what really makes me dangerous. Because it's like, as I said before, I'm Blackheart from Ghost Rider, and I don't have a soul. So I have. I have no white guilt whatsoever. The dominant culture in America that is dominated by these demonic or satanic pretenders, or these Jews. They want to instill feelings of white guilt into white people, and a lot of them it's like they have just downed bottles of this stuff, just like bottles of bleach, and I have no desire whatsoever to pander or pedestalize non-European and non-white people, you know, I feel, and I'm glad that I'm not European or white, because I feel like if I was, I would feel like I have a duty or an obligation to pander or give satisfaction to non-European or non-white people. But yeah, you know, I really don't care. And I'm even talking loudly about this, and there's not a lot of people around me, but sometimes there are. And I really don't have any shame in talking about this stuff, and I feel like that has become somewhat of a problem for me, because I've been banned. I have been banned from a lot of websites, and three places in Florida. I mean, I got a notification on my phone when I was laying down on my bed in my room at 5:03 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time that said I can no longer post anything to Facebook because I said something that went against their standards of hate speech and inferiority, because of, you know, some stuff that I said about American women and most women worldwide. I just basically said that, you know, I hate them because they just go along with conformity and this herd mentality. And yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, hate them to the extent that, you know, I want nothing to do with them whatsoever. I kind of have to deal with deal with women, because they are about 50% of this world's population. So, you know, there's really no escaping women, because they're about 50% of this world's population. But so, anyways, as I was saying before, you know, I really have no choice but to just deal with women. And I don't hate absolutely everyone that is a woman. You know, I think that there are some good and conservative and logical and rational women out there, but they are in the minority. And you know, I called Ali yesterday after I got banned from Facebook, and he's a really, you know, as I said before, a really cool and understanding person, but he definitely does not agree with everything that I say or think. Like, I mean, I was talking about this, you know, I got banned before from Facebook for like three days. I could not comment or post anything because I said in capital letters, I hate American women, and then an exclamation point at the end of that. And then more recently, it's because of something that I said on April 10, 2020, that I got banned from Facebook for 7 days. Or I can read, you know, some stuff in my Facebook feed, but I cannot comment or post anything to Facebook for 7 entire days. Ever since Monday, April 13, 2020. And, yeah. William Lane Craig repeated this quote that Richard Dawkins said in a debate with Sam Harris that I watched on that smart TV downstairs on YouTube recently. And he said that, Richard Dawkins once said, "We are machines for propagating DNA, and that is every object's sole purpose." And yes, it makes a lot of sense to me now. Just like an Ex Machina from April 2015. I thought about this conversation that Nathan and Caleb had in that particular science fiction movie. And Nathan said about this white-looking and female android. "I programmed her to be straight, just like you were programmed to be straight." And then Caleb said, "Nobody programmed me to be straight." And I really thought that was fascinating. A lot of the conversations that they had in that movie I thought were so fascinating. And I watched Ex Machina more than once last year on DVD because I bought it. And yeah, I guess, human beings are really like nothing more than machines. And all or most of them were programmed to be straight. But, I have even said in this comment on Facebook that I see or view heterosexuality or straightness as like malware or malicious software in my psychic apparatus or psychological system, and that is part of some stuff that I said in that comment that got me banned for 7 days. Well, not technically. I am banned because I can still read stuff in my Facebook feed, but I cannot comment or post anything for 7 entire days. And if women just want to just attack or endlessly attack a man's, heterosexuality and masculinity, there's this saying that, there is toxic masculinity by feminists, and, it's as if they are attacking the very biology or the very nature of men. And so if they want to do that, I have had enough. And I give up.